Hi guys, welcome back to my channel. Is DERA here, your favorite liquid meta, fast and furious? If you're new to my channel, welcome to DERA Empire. Yes, it's my empire, it's our empire, actually. And if you're already a subscriber, thank you for subscribing to my channel, and I love you, yes I do. And if you're a new subscriber, please don't forget to hit the subscribe button and turn on the notification button, so when I post any video, you'll be the first to be notified, so you get to watch the video. Okay, if you love my previous video, thank you for watching it. Thank you for allowing me share my healing moments with you or what happened to me. So today there's a lot of things going on in the world right now. Say the corona pandemic, say the racism, say the rape, say the killing and everything. But today I'm basically going to talking about rape. English. Okay, this is not funny, guys. I'm going to be talking about rape today. I know there are a lot of things going on right now in the world. Say rape, say racism, say killings, the coronavirus and everything, like I said earlier. But guys, rape, sexual abuse generally, child sexual abuse, both in male and female, guys, both in male and female, because a lot of people get to say, oh, it's just female that get molested or raped. No, male too get molested and raped, guys. So today I'm going to be talking about these things, right? So guys, this is more or less like a lecture. I don't even know if I should call it a lecture or a cry out or a voice or whatever you call it. But guys, what is sexual abuse? A lot of people think sexual abuse is only for kids or for women, basically, or yes, for women. But guys, I keep saying something, in as much as we are women and we support each other or want to speak for women, men or boys to get molested, get abused sexually. Because come on, what is abuse? Sexual abuse basically is forcing yourself on a child, a woman, a man, or even a goat without their consent, right? Now guys, sexual abuse has to do with both sexual assault, rape, stalking. There's a level of stalking that gets to sexual abuse, because why would I use that word? Some people stalk people down to their bathrooms. Yes, that's an abuse. That is a sexual abuse, a sexual assault, right? So I just did a quick list of some things of what I'll be talking about to give me guidelines of these things. So let's dive into it, guys. I feel so pained that a lot of parents these days don't have time for their kids, and that's why we even have more of these things these days, because a lot of parents just feel like, oh, we're too busy to talk to our children, or we're busy making money for them, or they have maids, they have cook, they have everything they need, so they don't need us basically, or they only need us when we need to go to church or to the park and stuff. But parents get to forget one thing: have a one-on-one conversation with your kids. No matter how nasty it might sound, no matter how difficult it is, try and be comfortable with your children. Like growing up, I wouldn't say my parents were 100% comfortable with us, but to an extent, say when my mom is bathing me and she pressed me and like, oh, she's like, what happened to you? And she's not going to say it in a harsh tone like, what happened to you? Why are you shouting? What's going on? Did you fall down? Didn't she'll call you and sit you down? You know, these are the things that sound little, but if our parents these days, especially the workaholics, give time for our children, you know, we would actually try to curb this thing called sexual abuse. That's one. Two, for women or children in secondary school, I think sex education should be added to the syllabus, right? Kids or children, teenagers need to know early what this thing is. Children learn from schools, so when you teach them these things in school, even the boys in quotes that get to abuse these same girls get to know about this thing we're talking about from school. You know, even the boys get to know when passes are being made at them, because even in secondary school, some teachers even abuse or assault, I don't even know if I should call it assault or abuse or assault female students sexually. Yes, I could even say I'm a victim, because then in secondary school you have a male teacher telling you, come here, touch you here, and I grew boobs very early. Well, that's another story. I wrote down some things to give me guidelines of what I want to talk about. I'm not a sex educationist, neither am I an inspirational speaker or anything, but I'm just a young girl or a young lady who is pained about what's going on right now in the world. And I won't even just blame it on the kids or even on the people harassing these people. I know it's bad, yes, I know they have to be a force. I don't even know the word to use, but then I'm just going to say two things first. Firstly, I think there have to be a proper, quote me, a proper punishment for people who assault kids or women, men for a start. For me, all these things that they get to say, jail, blah blah blah. See, I'm sorry if I'm going to sound too wicked or something, but please, I think one of the punishment, when somebody hears that they will cut their wiki and when they cut one person's wiki, you know, when they cut a wiki, you will not die. You only go through some things and they can stitch it back for you if it's still alive. But by the time they give that kind of rules or enforced policies that if you get to rape any child, they will cut off your wiki, they will stay, they will be okay. And for women too that molest kids, boys, by the time they tell you they'll cut off one of your orange, you will not come and say you will die. It's a lie. You will not die. There are people that has breast cancer and they have one breast. By the time they remove one of your breasts, you'll be fine. But I don't want this to sound like I'm being funny. I'm actually not being funny. I'm being serious, because this is something that is really hurtful. So I'm just going to say some things, right? I'm going to dive into how we can avoid being sexually harassed, number one. Number two, I'm also going to talk about a few steps or a few tips or a few things on how our parents can get in communication with their children, how parents can get in communication with their children, you know. So basically how parents could talk to their children or them, or trying to give them signs to tell them, oh dad, oh mom, something's going on with me, I'm not okay, I'm trying to tell you but I can't, right? So but first I'm going to go into how to avoid being sexually harassed. Firstly, tips on how to help reduce chances of being assaulted. Number one, if you think you're being followed, go to a lightened area where there are other people. What do I mean by lightened area? Where there's light, where there's the people, basically a gathering. So if you think you're being followed by someone or a thing, go to where they have people, you know. That way you can avoid being harassed or be sexually harassed or whatever harassment or abuse. Now, what do I mean by that? Say for instance, take a scenario, you're walking in a dark street or on a dark street, right? And you feel, you know, your sense tells you you're aware of your environment, right? So imagine you're walking in a place, a silent place, and you feel you're being followed. First thing to do, don't panic, don't run. Well, panic, but panic inside, hold it, form hard game, you know. Look for the nearest place where you know there is light and there are people there. Walk into that place. That way, no matter what the person wants to do to you, even if he or she still has that intention, it's going to be in an open place. And you trust Nigerians, the world at large, they don't used to see gatherings of trouble. They don't mind their business, whether corona or no corona. People don't mind their business, especially when it's in a public place. So the best way, or one of the ways to avoid sexual harassment or harassment basically, is by being in the gathering when alone or when you think you're being followed. Secondly, never accept a free ride from a stranger, especially in this our modern time. These times we're in, if it's not sexual abuse, is kidnapping. I repeat, don't accept a free ride from a stranger. Instead, waka, trek, make. In fact, if you can beg, I would rather you even beg for money. Honestly, I'm not encouraging begging or I know a lot of beggars everywhere, but then to avoid some certain things, please don't take a ride from a stranger. If you don't have Uber to book, walk to the nearest bus station, beg the driver, oh, when I get to my destination I'll pay you, or one thing or the other. But please avoid getting a free ride. I know Lagos girls especially, they like free ride because they're looking for what is not missing. Then you now go and buy market and you cannot sell, and you now come on social media to start shouting that somebody helped you and they raped you or they harassed you, or you be calling people out. You put yourself in that situation first. So try to avoid putting yourself in a situation by not taking or accepting free rides from strangers. Please, it's easier said than done, yes, because you don't know the situations you find yourself into. I get to say something, right? Don't judge a situation until you're in it, but then you can plan against avoiding some certain things, if that makes sense. So please avoid taking free rides from strangers. So thirdly, I'm just going to give three this is the third one, and it's just going to be 3 because I want to dive into child sexual abuse, because that's the one that really pains and hurts me, because it's rampant and it's really some of these men are retarded. I don't like generalizing, that's why I had to say some of these men are retarded. So thirdly, if you're going somewhere at night, please don't go alone. If you're not driving, if you're probably using an Uber or something, please go with a friend or a group of friends. And if you're going with an Uber, I do this when I use Uber, I share my location with somebody. It could be my sister, it could be my very close friend, it could be my brother, but I try to share my location with somebody, maybe someone I was talking to, and I'm like, oh, I'm going out, I share my location, right? Please try as much as possible, even if you're going out at night, let it be a gathering of people, not just maybe 2 or 3. When 2 or 3 are gathered, is there. If it's not a church thing, please don't come and say you were raped or you were this. You put yourself in that situation. Like I keep saying something, one of the ways, in fact, that's number 1 way to avoid these things. Don't put yourself in a situation like that. I know some people say, and how would we know? You know when you're in a situation, or when you're getting yourself into that situation. So please don't even put yourself in the situation at the first place. Okay, so the third one is, if you're going out at night, try and go with somebody or a group of people. Stay safe. And if you think you're not driving, or if you're not driving where you're going to, and you're using Uber or Taxify, try and share your location with your loved ones. These 3 things are very important. Okay, when I said basically is more or less like be aware of your surrounding and go to the nearest lightened place if you feel you're being followed. Number 2, avoid free rides from strangers. And number 3, don't go out alone at night. Go with a friend or a group of people or a group of friends, or share your location. Okay guys, so this second segment, it's basically a segment, hurts me, because I could say I'm a victim. I could say every secondary school girl is a victim, but we don't see it as we being victimized about these things, because we just see it as a normal thing, right? But they're not normal. I'm basically talking about girls today, because we know guys get molested, but I'm a girl, please. I won't be talking about a guy. It's just common sense, it's just normal, right? But then, while I say I'm a victim, I'm not saying I'm a victim of rape, but I'm saying I'm a victim of assault. Why am I saying this? Because I believe, like, quotes me, if you're watching this video today, you would reason it. Maybe you're 20, you're 30, you're your early 30s or your early 40s, and you went to any secondary school, be it boarding or day house. You would remember that you've been through what I'm going to talk about right now. If I now tell you the steps, I'm going to give maybe 5 or 10 steps on how parents can help cope or help reduce child sexual abuse in our society today. So now, this is what I'm going to say. Why I said I'm a victim of this too, and I believe every secondary school girl is a victim of male teacher assault us or insult us or sexually abuse us. I don't know the word to use. Now, take a scenario. This has happened to every girl, no matter even if you're a deeper life. It must have happened in a school where you have male teachers. They will touch you. You're growing fast though. And me, I grew boobs very early, so I know what I'm saying. As a JSS2, I already had boobs, so I legit know what I'm saying. I'm not just talking because I want to talk. Now, we didn't take those things to be anything at that time, but trust me, my parents or my mom, my elder sister especially, shout out to you, big sis, she always told us about this. Don't let anybody touch you. In fact, if you are climbing bike, my sister will tell you to put your hand like this. Jokes apart, that thing got too used to me until I stopped entering bike for some reasons. Whenever I enter bike, I will shift to the back and hold my hand like this, because I don't want my boots to touch the bike man's back. You know, so as I did in secondary school, when my secondary school teacher, male teachers especially, trying to DERA, favor, they called me favor in secondary school, I'm always like being secured. So that's why I said every female student went through this, because there are times sometimes if there are some stupid, very, yes, I will use it, there are some retarded secondary school male teachers that will even spank some girls' ass. Why don't you use the cane? Why do you have cane if you want to really beat her? Why don't you use the cane? Why are you using your hand? Because you want to feel something, Abby. And you know, there's some girls that grow like guinea fowl very early. They have big boobs, big bumbo, like me. I'm in that category, right? So that's why I said everybody, or majority of secondary school girls has gone through this thing. So please, if you're watching this video, try and talk to your children about how their male teachers approach them. Okay, I'm going to be giving 5 to 10 tips on how parents can help reduce these things called child sexual abuse, how to help us reduce these things. And I wrote it down, so I'm just going to be reading them out and talking about it. So the number one thing I have here is talk about body parts early. I said name body parts and talk about them very early. Use proper names for the body parts, or at least teach your child what the actual words are for their body part. Now, that is very important. A lot of parents feel like, why would I be talking to my child about boobs or about oranges? I don't even know. Yes, that's why I use that word. If you earlier I mentioned something about wiki, I will just give you a hint, is in the part of a male body, right? If you have friends, you will know what I'm talking about. But I'm not joking right here, guys. Because they are kids and you don't want to tell them the actual word or the actual name of what this thing is, look for names like I just stated here. Look for a name that you feel well relates what you're trying to tell them, because kids are very wise, kids are very sensitive. Whatever you tell them sticks in their head. So say for instance wiki, it sounds funny, but then they know what you're talking about, right? So say, don't let anybody touch your wiki. If they touch your wiki, you get pregnant. If they touch this, you do this. They would know that, oh, okay, mommy said if you do this, mommy said if you do this, daddy said if you do this. So please, parents, teach your children about body parts early. It is very, very important. That's my number one. I know some people will be asking me, did your parents teach you body parts early? I started growing up. In fact, I grew too early. Let's just put it that way. So of course, yes, they did. Even if they didn't 100%, my elder sister, shout out to you again. She really then will be like she's maltreating us. She doesn't want us to do one or two things with our friends, because some of my friends grew not too late, but compared to me, okay. So, but now it's also keen in, especially with what's going on. So yes, they thought me. Number 2, teach them that some body parts are private. And I wrote, tell your child that their private parts are called private because they are not for everyone to see. Yes, wiki for example. A boy, don't let any auntie touch your wiki because it's private. If she asks you, let me help you pee, say, mommy said I shouldn't let auntie touch any part of my body because it's private. That way they grow up with that thing. I know it's quite difficult, but then we're in a modern world where we have kids that are sharper than us, wiser than us, okay? So let's try to do this. So number 3 on my list, teach your child body boundaries. Teach your child body boundaries, very important. I know you'll be wondering what body boundaries are. So I wrote this, I said, tell your child that no one should touch their private parts, and that no one should ask them to touch somebody else's private parts. What does that mean? That's body boundary. Teach your child that. Remember that private part I told you. Don't let anybody touch it, and don't let anybody tell you to touch it, because there's whatever you tell kids is what is going to soak into their brains, right? So don't just give them A when you know A, B, C, D is what is going to make the apple full, right? If I'm making sense, not the apple that they've eaten from iPhone, the full apple, you know. So if you know you're going to tell your child that some parts of their body are private, let them know that it shouldn't be touched, and nobody should also tell them to touch that part, because sometimes you have your housemates or you have your classmates that their own house helps, female now, are already molesting without their parents knowing, and because they are being kids, they are enjoying it. Now you as a boy, as a little boy or as a little girl, they approach you and say, DERA, touch my hand, DERA, touch my back, DERA, touch my wiki. Because you're a child, you will do that. But if as a parent you already told your child, don't let anybody touch you, and don't let anybody tell you to touch them, when they do those things, you'll be like, no, mommy says it's bad. If it's a very sharp child that talk like me, when you reach home, you will go and tell your parents. Now your parents now can't go back to school, now call your teacher to ask the family or the parents whose child is this, and they will call the child in order. So you, that way, teaching them body boundaries, you're not just even helping your own child, but helping the children in their classes or the children they play and mingle with day in, day out. So that's my number 3. Teach your children their body boundaries. Okay, I think I'm just going to make it 5. If you really love this video, give it a thumbs up and ask for more tips on how to teach your children about their body parts or relevant things about their body especially. So my number 4 here is have a code word your children or your child can use when they feel unsafe or want to be picked up. Now, listen, now, this is something, in fact, this would have not been my number 1, because this is something that is very important, and my parents, I am talking about this because my parents really have that code word even till today. In fact, all my siblings that has kids, I don't even know if I should say they inherited that code or those code words to their children, that when your child is giving you a code sign, or you're giving your child a sign, they know, I need to get out of here, you know. So parents, have a code word that yourself and your child would relate to, be it in an uncomfortable situation or in a gossip situation, right? Say for instance, you're going to pick up your child or you're in a public place and an uncle or an aunt is carrying your child, and they're wanting, they're doing something to your child that your child can't say out or you definitely can't see. Your child's countenance or your child's sign would make you know that there's something going on right here. Okay, so if you don't teach your child or your children those words or those code words, sign language basically, or those signs, it could be some sad face or show me your mad face, something. It could be maybe you telling your child, baby, when something is going awkward and I'm there, just say, mommy, show me your mad face, and mommy will know that something going on. Okay, teach them these things. These things are very important. They might sound stupid to you, but when you start making babies or when you start having nieces and nephews, you will know that they sound very stupid or awkward or something you can't do. But by the time you start training children that are sharp, wise, see, I am talking out of experience. I have 4 nieces and 3 nephews, so trust me when I say what I'm saying. My niece, I have one niece who is 3 years, and the words that come out of her mouth, right, sometimes if you're not careful or if you're not close to the family, you think she was being sent to say those things. So guys, when you think these things are awkward to say to them, or you think they won't understand, but try them. They would shock you, they would surprise you. Kids these days are not stupid. Kids generally are not stupid. They were born like that. They are spirits, and your spirit can't be filled and healthy if you don't teach or if you don't feed it with the right content, right? Just say for example your spirits. Now if you don't feed yourself with the book, with the word of God, it will be hard for you to stay you guys basically understand what I'm saying, because I don't know how to put it. So basically, have a code word you could use to communicate with your children when they're in an awkward situation and wants to be picked up. Number 5, this will be my last one for today, and this is very, 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 very important. Parents, guardians, uncles, aunties, please, this is very important. I wrote here, I said, tell your child they will never, please mark my word, quote, they will never be in trouble if they tell you a body secret. They will never be in trouble. Why do I have to bring this up? Tell your child or your children that no matter what happens, when they tell you anything about body safety or body secrets, they will never get in trouble. See guys, this is very important. A lot of parents, when their kids tell them, mommy, Isaiah pecked me, boom, boom, why will you let him do that? Where did he peck you? Here, 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 or here, or here? Oh really? Did you like it? Not really. Oh, who did Isaiah said taught him? Oh, Isaiah said his cook always peck him yet, so he decided to try it with me. Sit your child down and tell her or him that is wrong for your age. That is wrong basically, sir, not even for your age, right? You could only peck mommy. You're only allowed to peck mommy, not even your sister. You're only allowed to peck mommy here. Okay? That way, they know they are safe with you. But when they tell you these things and the next thing, boom! Boom! Next time, even if they get whatever, they will be scared to tell you because of the memory of the cane. They don't want to be flogged again. So parents, please, try and let your children know. Tell me anything. It can be difficult too, and kids can be very, very annoying, funny, unbearable. But trust me, give them that little attention and you will know that these kids you are training, God didn't give you or give them to you for a joke. Like, you're responsible for these children, so take responsibility for every goddamn thing. Like, everything. These kids will be the one to take care of you in the nearest future if Jesus tarries, right? So try as much as possible to communicate with your children. It's very important, family. It's very important, guys. So I'll just stop here, right? I'll stop here. Please don't forget to hit the subscribe button if you really love this video and you would love to hear more about how to guide your children or lecture your children on child sexual abuse or their body parts. Please indicate in the comment section and I'm going to add more light on this. Yes, I'm an auntie, so I understand these things as well, because there are some awkward situations that your nieces would ask you some questions. Let me even tell you one. My 7-year-old niece once asked her mom, what is infatuation? Yes. And my sister told her and let her know what she needs to know, right? Because if my sister didn't tell her, she will go and ask the nearest uncle or auntie, and the uncle there, come, let me show you what it is. And that's how things get out of hand. So guys, please, let's try as much as possible, no matter how awkward the situation might be, let's try to give our children listening ears. Don't forget to hit the subscribe button. If you're a new subscriber, please turn on your notification button so you could get notified each time I post the videos, guys. Please stay safe. And if you love my previous video, or if you've not watched my previous video of what happened to my hand, or story time with DERA about the incident I had 3 years ago, at the end of this video I'm going to put it up there, so just click on the video and you're going to go through it and watch the video. Thank you for watching, guys. Don't forget to stay safe. COVID-19 is real, guys. 19 is real, okay? In as much as what is going on, please stay safe, guys. Stay hydrated, wear your face masks, and sanitize regularly. Make this a part of you. You won't regret it. Sanitize, okay? Thank you guys for watching. Don't forget to stay safe and hit the subscribe button. I love you guys.